Captain Ryan Holden stood on the bridge of the Starfire, his gaze fixed on the barren planet below. The exploration mission had taken them to many desolate worlds, but something about this one felt different. "Captain, we're picking up faint life signs," reported Lieutenant Carter, his brow furrowed as he examined the data. "Location?" Ryan asked, his interest piqued. "Near the northern hemisphere, in what looks like an abandoned settlement," Carter replied. "Prepare a landing party," Ryan ordered. "We're going down to investigate." The Starfire descended, and the landing party made their way to the settlement. The place was in ruins, a stark reminder of a once thriving community now desolate and empty. As they moved through the debris, Ryan heard a faint, pitiful sound. "Over here," he called, leading the team to a crumbling building. Inside, they found a small alien girl, emaciated and barely conscious. Her large, pleading eyes met Ryan's, and his heart ached at the sight. "We need to get her back to the ship now," he commanded, scooping her up gently. Back on the Starfire, the crew worked swiftly to stabilize the girl. Dr. Laura Mitchell monitored her vitals, her face tense with concentration. "She's severely malnourished and dehydrated," Dr. Mitchell said, her voice urgent. "We need to start IV fluids and get her some nourishment." Ryan watched anxiously as the medical team tended to the girl. "Will she make it?" Dr. Mitchell nodded slowly. "She's strong, she has a chance." Hours passed and the girl's condition began to improve. She opened her eyes, looking around the unfamiliar environment with a mix of fear and curiosity. Ryan approached her slowly, his voice gentle. "You're safe now. My name is Ryan." "What's your name?" The girl's voice was weak, barely a whisper. "Riva." "Riva, you're safe with us," Ryan reassured her. "We're going to take care of you." Days turned into weeks as Riva slowly regained her strength. The crew of the Starfire took turns caring for her, their compassion and kindness helping her heal both physically and emotionally. Ryan spent as much time as he could with Riva, forming a bond with the resilient young girl. She began to trust him, her initial fear replaced with a growing sense of security. One evening, as they sat in the observation deck, Riva spoke of her past. "My parents, they were taken by raiders. I hid, but they never came back. I was alone for so long." Ryan's heart ached for her. "You're not alone anymore, Riva. We're your family now." Just as Riva began to find peace, the Starfire was attacked by the same raiders who had taken her parents. Alarms blared and the ship shuddered under the impact of enemy fire. "Battle stations," Ryan ordered, his voice steady despite the chaos. The crew sprang into action, defending the ship with all their might. Riva watched in fear, clutching Ryan's hand as the battle raged around them. "We'll protect you," Ryan promised, his determination unwavering. The Starfire managed to repel the attackers, but not without sustaining damage. The crew worked tirelessly to make repairs, their resolve strengthened by the close call. With the raider attack repelled and the ship undergoing repairs, the crew of the Starfire took the time to recover and regroup. Riva was still shaken from the attack, but she found solace in the presence of Captain Ryan Holden and the rest of the crew. Ryan decided that it was time for Riva to start learning some basic self-defense and survival skills. He believed that empowering her would help rebuild her confidence and ensure that she never felt helpless again. One afternoon, Ryan led Riva to the training room. "I want to teach you some basic self-defense moves," he said. "It's important that you can protect yourself." Riva nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "I want to be strong, like you." Ryan smiled, proud of her resilience. "You already are, Riva, but let's get started." They began with simple techniques, focusing on balance and movement. Riva picked up the skills quickly, her natural agility and quick reflexes serving her well. "You're doing great," Ryan encouraged her as she practiced with a training dummy. "Remember, always be aware of your surroundings." Riva concentrated, her movements becoming more fluid and confident. "I won't let anyone hurt me or my family again," she said with resolve. Just as Riva began to feel more secure, the raiders returned, more determined than ever. Alarms blared and the ship shuddered under the impact of enemy fire once again. "Battle stations," Ryan commanded, his voice calm but firm. The crew sprang into action, their training and experience evident as they defended the ship. Riva watched in fear, but this time she felt a spark of determination rather than helplessness. The raiders managed to breach the ship and fierce fighting broke out in the corridors. Ryan and Riva found themselves cornered by a group of raiders. Ryan fought them off, but more kept coming. "Stay close to me," Ryan instructed, his eyes scanning for threats. Riva nodded, gripping a makeshift weapon tightly. "I'm ready," she whispered. Together they fought off the raiders, their bond and determination giving them strength. Riva's training kicked in and she moved with surprising agility, defending herself and aiding Ryan. "We need to get to the control room," Ryan said, taking down another raider. "We can't let them take the ship." They made their way through the chaos, fighting off raiders at every turn. When they reached the control room, they found Lieutenant Carter and the rest of the crew holding the line. "Captain," Carter shouted, "we're holding them off, but we need to take out their leader to break their morale." Ryan nodded, his gaze steely. "Where is he?" Carter pointed to a heavily armored raider commanding his troops from a vantage point. Ryan knew that taking him out would be the key to ending the attack. "Riva, stay here with Carter," Ryan said. "I'm going after their leader." Riva's eyes widened with fear, but she nodded. "Be careful." Ryan charged through the fray, his focus unwavering. He engaged the raider leader in a brutal fight, their weapons clashing with sparks and echoes. With a final powerful strike, Ryan defeated the leader, sending the remaining raiders into disarray. The crew quickly took advantage of the raiders' confusion, repelling the attackers and securing the ship. The battle was over, but the cost was high, and the Starfire was left with significant damage. Ryan returned to Riva, who hugged him tightly, relief and gratitude evident in her eyes. "You did it," she whispered. "We did it," Ryan corrected her, his voice filled with pride. "You were incredible, Riva." The crew of the Starfire began the arduous task of repairing the ship once again, but their resolve was stronger than ever. They knew that the road ahead would be challenging, but with their newfound strength and unity, they were ready to face whatever came their way. The crew of the Starfire knew they couldn't withstand another raider attack. With the ship still in a fragile state, Captain Ryan Holden gathered his senior officers and Riva for a strategy meeting. "We can't just sit here and wait for the next attack," Ryan began, his tone resolute. "We need to strike back and eliminate the raider threat once and for all." Lieutenant Carter nodded in agreement. "We've gathered enough intelligence to locate their base. It's heavily fortified, but if we plan this right, we can take it out." Ryan looked at Riva, who had insisted on being part of the meeting. "Riva, you've shown incredible bravery and skill. I want you to be part of this mission, but you must follow orders and stay safe." Riva's eyes shone with determination. "I understand, Captain. I want to help protect our family." Ryan laid out the plan. "We'll divide into 2 teams. One team will create a diversion to draw the raiders' attention, while the other team infiltrates the base to disable their defenses and take out their leader. Riva, you'll be with me on the infiltration team." The crew spent the next few days preparing for the mission, gathering equipment and rehearsing their roles. The tension was high, but so was their resolve. They knew that this was their best chance to end the threat and ensure their safety. The Starfire approached the raiders' base under the cover of darkness. The planet was desolate, with the raider base nestled within a rugged canyon. Ryan led the infiltration team, which included Riva, Lieutenant Carter, and a few elite soldiers. As the diversion team launched their attack, explosions lit up the night sky, and the raiders scrambled to defend their base. Ryan's team used the chaos to slip through the perimeter, moving swiftly and silently towards the control center. Riva's heightened senses guided them through the shadows, avoiding patrols and security systems. They reached the entrance to the control center where a few guards stood watch. "We take them out quietly," Ryan whispered. "Riva, stay close." The team moved in sync, swiftly and efficiently neutralizing the guards. They entered the control center, where the base's main defenses were controlled. Riva quickly disabled the communication systems, plunging the base into further disarray. "Great work, Riva," Ryan said, giving her a nod of approval. "Now we need to plant the charges and get out of here." They moved through the corridors, setting explosives at key points to disable the base's power and weapon systems. As they worked, they encountered more resistance, but their determination and teamwork saw them through. Just as they were about to set the final charge, the raider leader appeared, flanked by his elite guards. He was a towering figure, exuding menace and confidence. "You've come far, but this is where it ends," the raider leader sneered, drawing his weapon. Ryan stepped forward, his blaster at the ready. Not today. This ends now. A fierce battle erupted. Ryan and his team fought valiantly, their movements precise and coordinated. Riva, remembering her training, moved with agility, defending herself and aiding the team. As the fight raged on, Ryan managed to reach the final charge. "Get ready to move," he shouted over the din of battle. With a final push, they set the charge and retreated, the timer ticking down. They fought their way back to the extraction point, the base shaking with the force of the explosions. The shuttle lifted off just as the charges detonated, sending a series of powerful blasts through the Raider base. The stronghold collapsed, engulfed in flames and debris. "We did it," Riva said, her voice filled with awe and relief. Ryan smiled, pride in his eyes. "We did, thanks to you and the entire team." Back on the Starfire, the crew celebrated their victory, but they knew the fight wasn't over. The Raiders were dealt a significant blow, but there were still dangers ahead. However, with their newfound strength and unity, they felt ready to face whatever came their way. Ryan addressed the crew, his voice filled with determination. "We've taken a major step in ensuring our safety, but our mission continues. Together we can face any challenge and protect our family." Riva stood by his side, her heart full of hope and resolve. She knew that with Ryan and the crew, she had found a true family, one that would stand by her no matter what. As the Starfire set course for its next destination, they faced the future with confidence and unity, ready for whatever adventures and challenges lay ahead. With the Raider base destroyed, the Starfire resumed its mission of exploration and diplomacy. Captain Ryan Holden knew that to ensure long-term safety, they needed allies. Their next destination was the planet Epsilon Prime, home to the technologically advanced and highly secretive Epsilonians. "Captain, we're approaching Epsilon Prime," Lieutenant Carter reported. "Their government has agreed to a meeting." Ryan nodded, his expression serious. "Let's make a good impression. We need their support." The Starfire landed in the capital city of Epsilon Prime, a dazzling metropolis of sleek towers and advanced technology. The crew was escorted to the Central Council chamber, where they were greeted by Chancellor Varric, the leader of the Epsilonians. "Welcome, Captain Holden," Varric said, his voice smooth and commanding. "We've heard of your recent victory against the Raiders. Impressive." "Thank you, Chancellor," Ryan replied. "We're here to propose an alliance. The galaxy is becoming more dangerous, and we believe that together we can ensure peace and stability." Varric considered Ryan's words. "An alliance with humans is a significant step. What can you offer us in return?" "We offer mutual protection, shared resources, and cooperation in technological advancements," Ryan said. "Our recent battles have shown us the importance of unity. Together we can achieve much more." Varric nodded slowly. "Very well. We will consider your proposal. In the meantime, you are our honored guests. Explore our city and learn about our culture. It is important to understand one another if we are to be allies." As the meeting concluded, Ryan and his crew were given a tour of the city. Riva, in particular, was fascinated by the advanced technology and the harmony in which the Epsilonians lived. "This place is amazing," Riva said, her eyes wide with wonder. "Do you think they'll agree to the alliance?" Ryan smiled at her enthusiasm. "I hope so. We need allies like them to face the challenges ahead." As night fell over Epsilon Prime, the peaceful city was suddenly thrown into chaos. Alarms blared, and the sky lit up with explosions as an unknown force attacked. Ryan and his crew sprang into action, joining the Epsilonians in their defense. The attackers were a formidable group of mercenaries, equipped with advanced weaponry and determined to cause destruction. "Captain, we need to secure the council chamber," Lieutenant Carter shouted over the din of battle. "Riva, stay close to me," Ryan ordered, his voice firm. "We're heading to the council chamber." They fought their way through the city, the streets filled with smoke and the sounds of combat. Ryan's team worked seamlessly with the Epsilonians, their combined efforts turning the tide against the attackers. As they reached the council chamber, they found Chancellor Varric and his guards holding off a group of mercenaries. Ryan and his team joined the fray, their determination unwavering. "Hold the line," Ryan shouted, taking down an enemy soldier. Riva moved with agility and precision, her training and instincts guiding her. She protected Varric and the other council members, her bravery and skill evident in every move. After a fierce battle, the attackers were finally repelled. The city, though damaged, stood strong thanks to the combined efforts of the humans and Epsilonians. Chancellor Varric approached Ryan, his expression one of gratitude and respect. "Your actions tonight have proven your commitment and strength, Captain. The Epsilonians would be honored to form an alliance with the humans." Ryan smiled, relief washing over him. "Thank you, Chancellor. Together we can face any threat." Riva stood by Ryan's side, her heart swelling with pride. She had found her place among the crew of the Starfire, and together they had forged a powerful alliance that would ensure the safety and stability of the galaxy. As the crew of the Starfire prepared to depart, they knew that their journey was far from over. But with their new allies and their unbreakable bond, they faced the future with confidence and hope. Ryan addressed his crew, his voice filled with determination. "We've made a great ally today, but our mission continues. We'll face many challenges, but together we can overcome anything." Riva looked at Ryan, her eyes shining with resolve. "I'm ready for whatever comes next." With their alliance with the Epsilonians solidified, the Starfire set its course for the next adventure, ready to protect the galaxy and build a future of peace and unity. The journey was long, but with friends and family by their side, they knew they could face any challenge that lay ahead. With their new alliance with the Epsilonians, the Starfire continued its mission of exploration and diplomacy. Their next destination was the planet Valora, known for its vast trade networks and strategic importance. As the Starfire approached Valora, Ryan Holden received a transmission from Valoran officials welcoming them and inviting them to a diplomatic summit. The crew prepared for the meeting, hoping to secure another valuable ally. Upon arrival, Ryan, Riva, and Lieutenant Carter were greeted by Governor Tarek, a charismatic leader with a reputation for shrewd politics. The summit was held in a grand hall filled with representatives from various factions. "Welcome, Captain Holden," Tarek said, shaking Ryan's hand. "We are honored by your visit. Let us discuss how we can benefit from an alliance." The discussions went smoothly, and it seemed like a promising alliance was within reach. However, Riva felt uneasy. Her heightened senses picked up subtle hints of deception. "Captain, something doesn't feel right," Riva whispered to Ryan during a break. "I think they're hiding something." Ryan trusted Riva's instincts. "Stay alert. We need to be ready for anything." As the summit continued, Tarek proposed a toast to the new alliance. Glasses were raised and smiles exchanged, but Riva's unease grew. She discreetly scanned the room, noticing several guards subtly positioning themselves around the hall. Suddenly the doors burst open and armed soldiers flooded in, weapons aimed at the Starfire crew. Tarek's friendly demeanor vanished, replaced by a cold, calculating gaze. "Captain Holden, you and your crew are under arrest for espionage and inciting rebellion against Valora," Tarek declared. Ryan's eyes narrowed. "This is a setup," Tarek smirked. "Indeed. Your actions threatened our control. We cannot allow you to destabilize our power." Ryan, Riva, and Carter were quickly disarmed and taken into custody. They were led to a high-security prison facility, their future uncertain. The crew of the Starfire was left in a precarious situation, unaware of their leader's fate. As they sat in their cell, Ryan strategized. "We need to find a way out and warn the others. They're counting on us." Riva, her senses on high alert, listened for any potential weaknesses in their confinement. "I hear guards changing shifts every 2 hours. We might have a window to act." Carter nodded. "If we can create a distraction, we might be able to overpower the guards and escape." Ryan looked at Riva. "You're our key. Use your abilities to find us an opening. Carter and I will be ready." When the next shift change occurred, Riva signaled Ryan and Carter. They made their move, catching the guards off guard. A brief but intense struggle ensued, and the trio managed to subdue their captors and seize their weapons. They navigated the facility, avoiding patrols and security cameras. Riva's senses guided them through the labyrinthine corridors, leading them to the control room. There, they disabled the security systems and opened the prison's main gates. "Let's move," Ryan urged, leading the way out. As they made their escape, alarms blared, and Valoran soldiers pursued them. The trio fought their way through, determined to reach the Starfire and warn their crew. Outside, the landscape was a maze of industrial complexes and warehouses. They moved swiftly, taking cover and engaging in brief skirmishes with their pursuers. Finally, they reached the landing zone where the Starfire was docked. The ship's crew, alerted by the commotion, had prepared for a quick departure. The hatch opened, and they hurried aboard. "Get us out of here," Ryan ordered, and the Starfire lifted off, engines roaring as it ascended into the sky. Safe aboard the ship, Ryan addressed the crew. "We've been betrayed, but we're not defeated. Valora has made an enemy today, and we will expose their treachery. For now, we need to regroup and plan our next move." Riva stood beside Ryan, her resolve stronger than ever. "We'll show them they can't break us." With their mission clear and their unity unshaken, the Starfire set a course for their next destination. The betrayal had been a setback, but it had also solidified their determination to fight for justice and protect the galaxy from those who sought to oppress and deceive. The betrayal on Valora left the crew of the Starfire determined to expose the treachery and seek justice. Captain Ryan Holden knew they needed more information about Governor Tarek's plans and his connections to the raiders who had attacked them earlier. "We need to find out who Tarek is working with and why he targeted us," Ryan said during a strategy meeting with his senior officers and Riva. "We'll need to gather intelligence discreetly and form alliances to strengthen our position." Lieutenant Carter suggested a bold plan. "There's a notorious information broker named Drax who operates in the shadow markets of the nearby system. If anyone knows about Tarek's connections, it's him." Ryan nodded. "We'll need to proceed carefully. Drax is known for being ruthless and untrustworthy. Riva, Carter, you'll come with me. We'll take a small team to meet Drax and get the information we need." The Starfire traveled to the shadow markets, a seedy underworld of trading and illicit deals. The team disembarked, blending into the crowd as they navigated the labyrinthine alleys. They arrived at Drax's den, a dimly lit chamber filled with screens and datapads. "Captain Holden," Drax greeted them with a sly grin. "I've heard of your recent troubles. What brings you to my humble abode?" Ryan met his gaze steadily. "We need information about Governor Tarek of Valora and his connections to the raiders." Drax leaned back, considering the request. "Information like that comes at a price." Riva stepped forward, her eyes locked on Drax. "We can pay, but we need to know we can trust you." Drax chuckled. "Trust is a rare commodity here, but I'm a businessman. As long as you hold up your end of the bargain, I'll hold up mine." Ryan handed over a case of valuable trade goods. "Here's your payment. Now tell us what you know." Drax accessed his database, pulling up files on Tarek and his associates. Tarek has been making deals with a powerful syndicate. They've been supplying him with mercenaries and weapons in exchange for control over Valora's resources. Lieutenant Carter frowned. "Why target us?" Drax shrugged. "You're a threat to their plans. Your alliances and victories have made you enemies among those who seek to control the galaxy through fear and oppression." Armed with the information from Drax, the Starfire set out to warn their allies and strengthen their position. Their first stop was Epsilon Prime, where Chancellor Varek awaited their return. "Governor Tarek is working with a powerful syndicate," Ryan explained to Varek. "They're using Valora as a base of operations, and they've targeted us to prevent our alliances from growing." Varek nodded thoughtfully. "This is troubling news. If we are to stand against this threat, we must unite our forces. Epsilon Prime will stand with you, Captain Holden." The alliance with the Epsilonians strengthened the crew's resolve. They knew they needed more allies to confront the syndicate and protect the galaxy from its influence. Their next destination was the planet Solaris, known for its skilled warriors and strategic location. Upon arrival, Ryan, Riva, and Carter were greeted by Commander Thorn, leader of the Solarian Defense Force. Thorn was a stern but honorable man, respected by his people for his leadership and combat skills. "Captain Holden, I've heard of your exploits," Thorn said. "What brings you to Solaris?" "We need your help, Commander," Ryan replied. "A powerful syndicate is trying to destabilize the galaxy. They've already attacked us and our allies, and they won't stop until they've gained control. We propose an alliance to stand against them." Thorn considered their proposal. "Solaris has always valued its independence, but we also value justice and honor. If this syndicate threatens the stability of the galaxy, we will join you." The alliance with Solaris bolstered their strength and gave them the confidence to continue their mission. The Starfire traveled to other planets, forming alliances and gathering support against the growing threat of the syndicate. As their coalition grew, so did their determination to confront Governor Tarek and his allies. They knew the battle ahead would be difficult, but they were united by a common goal: to protect the galaxy and ensure a future of peace and justice. Back on the Starfire, Ryan addressed his crew and their new allies. "We've come a long way, and we've faced many challenges. But we're stronger now, united by our shared mission. Together, we will stand against this threat and defend the galaxy." Riva stood beside Ryan, her resolve unwavering. "We're ready for whatever comes next." With their alliances solidified and their spirits high, the Starfire and their coalition prepared for the final confrontation. The journey had been long and arduous, but they knew that together, they could overcome any obstacle and protect the future of the galaxy. With their alliances secured, Captain Ryan Holden and the crew of the Starfire prepared for the final confrontation against Governor Tarek and his syndicate allies. The coalition of planets and factions united under a common cause was now a formidable force, but they needed a strategic plan to ensure victory. Ryan called a council meeting aboard the Starfire, inviting leaders from their allied planets, including Chancellor Varric of Epsilon Prime and Commander Thorn of Solaris. "We've gathered our forces, but now we need to strike at the heart of the Syndicate's operations," Ryan began, pointing to a holographic map of Valora and the surrounding space. "Our intelligence indicates that Tarek's main base of operations is heavily fortified. We need to disable their defenses and cut off their support." Commander Thorn nodded. "Our warriors are ready. We can launch a coordinated ground assault to take out their ground defenses and secure the area." Chancellor Varric added, "Epsilonian forces can provide air support and disrupt their communications. We need to isolate Tarek and prevent reinforcements." Lieutenant Carter chimed in. "The Starfire and our fleet can engage their ships in orbit, ensuring space superiority and blocking any escape routes." Ryan looked around the table, seeing the determination in everyone's eyes. "Riva, you'll be with me on the ground assault. Your senses and skills will be crucial in navigating the base and finding Tarek." Riva nodded, her eyes filled with resolve. "I'm ready, Captain." With the plan in place, the coalition forces prepared for the assault. The tension was palpable, but so was the unity and determination to see their mission through. The combined fleet of the coalition approached Valora, their ships emerging from hyperspace in a coordinated formation. The Syndicate's defenses reacted immediately, but they were met with fierce resistance. "Commence the assault," Ryan ordered, his voice steady over the comms. "All units move in." The Starfire led the charge, its weapons blazing as it engaged the Syndicate's fleet. The sky above Valora lit up with explosions and laser fire as the battle unfolded. On the ground, Ryan and Riva led a strike team towards Tarek's base. The Epsilonian air support strafed enemy positions, while the Solarian warriors advanced with precision and ferocity. The Syndicate's ground defenses crumbled under the relentless assault. "Stay close," Ryan instructed Riva as they navigated the battlefield. "We need to reach the Central Command and disable their control systems." Riva's heightened senses guided them through the chaos, avoiding traps and ambushes. They breached the outer defenses of the base, encountering fierce resistance from Tarek's elite guards. "We're getting close," Riva said, her voice tense but focused. "The command center is just ahead." The team fought their way through the corridors, their resolve unshaken. They reached the command center where Tarek awaited them with a squad of heavily armed mercenaries. "This ends now, Tarek," Ryan declared, his blaster aimed at the governor. Tarek sneered. "You think you can stop me? You're too late." The battle erupted, the room filled with the sounds of blaster fire and clashing weapons. Ryan and Riva moved with precision, their training and determination giving them an edge. Riva's agility and quick reflexes allowed her to disarm several mercenaries, while Ryan engaged Tarek in a fierce duel. The governor fought with ruthless efficiency, but Ryan's resolve was unbreakable. "You can't win, Tarek," Ryan said through gritted teeth, blocking a powerful strike. "Your reign of terror ends today." With a final decisive move, Ryan disarmed Tarek and brought him to his knees. The remaining mercenaries surrendered, seeing their leader defeated. Riva quickly accessed the control panel and disabled the Syndicate's systems, cutting off their communications and ensuring their forces were isolated. "It's over," Ryan said, breathing heavily but with a sense of triumph. "We've won." As the coalition forces secured the base and rounded up the remaining Syndicate members, a sense of relief and victory washed over them. The battle had been hard fought, but their unity and determination had prevailed. Back on the Starfire, Ryan addressed the coalition leaders and his crew. Today we've proven that together we can overcome any threat. Our alliances and our resolve have brought us victory, and we will continue to protect and build a future of peace and unity. Riva stood beside Ryan, her heart swelling with pride. She had found her place among the crew of the Starfire and had played a crucial role in their victory. Together they had faced immense challenges and emerged stronger. With the Syndicate defeated and Valora liberated, the Coalition celebrated their triumph, knowing that the future was now brighter and more secure. The journey had been long and arduous, but they had proven that unity and courage could overcome any obstacle. As the Starfire set a course for their next mission, Ryan and Riva looked forward to the adventures and challenges that lay ahead, confident in their ability to protect the galaxy and build a future of peace and justice. With the defeat of Governor Tarek and the Syndicate, the galaxy took a collective sigh of relief. The victory on Valora had sent ripples throughout the cosmos, strengthening the resolve of allied planets and weakening the grip of those who thrived on chaos and fear. Captain Ryan Holden and the crew of the Starfire returned to Epsilon Prime, where a grand assembly of coalition leaders gathered to discuss the future. The atmosphere was a mix of celebration and solemn determination to rebuild and fortify their newfound unity. Chancellor Varric addressed the assembly. "We have achieved a great victory, but our work is far from over. We must ensure that such threats never arise again. The unity we've forged here must become the foundation of a new era of peace and cooperation." Ryan stepped forward, his voice steady and confident. "The Starfire and its crew are committed to this mission. We will continue to explore, to forge alliances, and to protect our friends and allies from any threats that may arise. Together we are stronger." The assembly erupted in applause, their spirits lifted by the promise of a brighter future. Among the crowd, Riva stood tall, her journey from a frightened orphan to a skilled and confident member of the crew, a testament to the power of resilience and unity. As the coalition leaders returned to their respective planets to begin the work of rebuilding and strengthening their alliances, the Starfire set a course for its next mission. The crew was eager to continue their exploration and to ensure the safety and stability of the galaxy. One evening, Ryan and Riva stood on the observation deck looking out at the stars. The past months had been filled with challenges, but they had faced them together, emerging stronger and more united. "We've come a long way," Riva said softly, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "I never thought I'd find a family like this." Ryan smiled, his gaze warm and proud. "You've become an important part of our family, Riva. Your strength and determination have inspired us all." As they spoke, an alert sounded, signaling an incoming transmission. Ryan and Riva hurried to the bridge, where Lieutenant Carter was already at the console. "Captain, we're receiving a distress signal from a nearby system," Carter reported. "A colony is under attack by unknown forces." Ryan's expression hardened with resolve. "Set a course for the colony. We'll investigate and provide assistance." The Starfire jumped to hyperspace, the stars blurring into streaks of light. As they approached the beleaguered colony, the crew prepared for whatever lay ahead. The colony was under siege by a group of marauders, their ships attacking without mercy. The Starfire emerged from hyperspace, its weapons blazing as it engaged the attackers. "Target their lead ship," Ryan ordered, his voice calm and commanding. "We need to disable their command structure." The battle was fierce, but the Starfire and its crew fought with precision and determination. Riva, her senses honed from her training, coordinated ground efforts to protect the colony's civilians. "Captain, we've disabled their lead ship," Carter reported. "The marauders are retreating." Ryan nodded. "Pursue and ensure they don't regroup. We'll stay to help the colony rebuild." As the Starfire's shuttles descended to the planet's surface, the crew sprang into action, providing medical aid and repairing infrastructure. The colony's leader, a weary but grateful woman named Alara, approached Ryan and Riva. "Thank you for coming to our aid," Alara said, her voice filled with gratitude. "We thought we were done for." Ryan shook his head. "We're all part of this galaxy, and we look out for each other. You're not alone." Riva smiled, offering a comforting presence. "We'll help you rebuild and ensure you're safe." As the days passed, the Starfire crew worked tirelessly alongside the colonists, forging new bonds and strengthening their resolve. The galaxy was vast and filled with challenges, but with unity and determination, they knew they could face anything. When the colony was secure, Ryan addressed his crew and the colonists. Today we've shown that together we can overcome any threat. We'll continue to stand together, protect each other, and build a future of peace and cooperation. The Starfire's departure was met with heartfelt farewells and promises of continued friendship. As the ship soared into the stars once more, Ryan and Riva stood side by side, ready for the next adventure. "We've made a difference today," Riva said, her heart filled with pride and hope. Ryan nodded, his eyes on the horizon. "And we'll keep making a difference. Together we'll ensure a future where everyone can live in peace." With their mission clear and their bonds unbreakable, the Starfire and its crew faced the future with confidence and unity, ready to protect the galaxy and build a legacy of hope and resilience. The journey ahead was filled with unknowns, but they were prepared to meet every challenge, knowing that together they could overcome anything.